Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm at home. I'm just going to do a bit of a what's in my camera bag, what gear I use to do my vlogging. I've got an update on my camera bag, what tripods I'm using, etc, etc. So grab yourself a coffee, tune in and let's have a look at the gear I'm using. Coffee. Okay, so I've recently upgraded my Vanguard Alta Sky 45D backpack. I spoke to the nice guys at Vanguard and I've upgraded to the Alta Sky 53, which is a lot bigger. When I first opened the box I was a bit like, oh my god, this is massive. Now I filled it up with all my stuff. It's actually perfect for a long day, or probably even a couple of days if you were staying anywhere. For all of my stuff, vlogging gear, enough room for some food, drink, etc, etc. So same sort of design as the Alta Sky 45D. The tripod can go on the sides, but I prefer to actually have it on the front. And the front bit actually folds down like this, and you can slot your tripod in the front here, clip it into the front with these clips here, and it sits nice and comfortably on the front. I do find sometimes if it's on the side you kind of feel like you're toppling over a little bit. I absolutely love that design, it does help. And it also helps if you're carrying a second tripod like I do, because I can stuff my little tripod, which this camera is on right now, down the side here and actually clip it in with this strap up the top here, so that's quite handy. It's got an abundance of pockets, just so many pockets, absolutely everywhere. I do find as well the straps on this one are a lot stronger, they feel more padded. I'm not sure if they are, maybe it's just because it's new and I've been using the other one, but this one feels a lot more supportive of my back, being a bigger bag. So I've been wearing it now for maybe a week or so, carried it for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours at one point, all of my stuff in it, and I felt absolutely fine. A little bit of an aching shoulder, but nothing out of the ordinary. Super comfy on your back. The airflow system is fantastic, so air can get in so you don't get a sweaty back if you're walking around. I just love the Vanguard bags, they're absolutely fantastic. And the back access is perfect. So I always carry around a bit of a drink, flask, coffee or whatever. That's from this morning sunrise. And let's get into the good stuff and see what we are using. You guys know I use the Sony a7R II. This is my 24-70 Zeiss lens on here at the moment. And I have a three-legged thing L bracket on my Sony at the moment. It's nice, it works well, it looks good. Functionally though, it's a bit silly really for the Sony, because you can't actually access the side ports on the side of your Sony because of the L bracket. So I'm kind of thinking about getting one that's actually customly designed for a Sony a7R II, because that is a bit of a nuisance, because when I want to do long exposures I have to put my shutter release cable in, obviously. That actually means moving the L bracket along so that I can fit in the shutter release cable. Not ideal, it works fine, but it's just a bit of a faff, that's all. So yeah, maybe I'll upgrade that at some point, but still very good. It does work a treat. That's the Sony 24-70 Zeiss, great lens. I absolutely love that lens. Can't really fault it, to be honest. For me, it's pin sharp, and yeah, it's been through all sorts of weather with me, and it is a fantastic lens, very, very good lens. But moving on, we have my favourite lens in the bag, and that is the 70-200 f4 OSS G Sony. This lens is super sharp, it's so good. I'd much rather be using this lens over the Zeiss lens. I find that this is so much sharper. Use this all the time for all sorts of images, and it's just great to be able to hone in on detail rather than shooting wide all the time, because it's nice. All sorts of different compositions to be had everywhere, and when you stick a long lens on and actually zoom in on mountains or cliffs, or you know, you can pick out bits of detail everywhere. So definitely my favourite lens in the bag, and yeah, I definitely will never be getting rid of this lens. It is fantastic, absolutely awesome. I have done a first impressions video of when I first got this lens. I'll link this video just here, and you can have a look at some of the images on that one that I got out in the field. But yeah, absolutely fantastic lens. And I have my third and final lens, is this little thing. This is the 55mm 1.8 Zeiss Sony. And this is fantastic. Absolutely beautiful portrait lens. So some of you guys may know my girlfriend Primrose is a fashion blogger, so we needed a good decent lens with some beautiful bokeh and some really shallow depth of field that is light and portable, that we can carry around and use all the time. And this is just the perfect lens for that. Super sharp, the 1.8 aperture gives such beautiful bokeh. It's perfect for portraits, it's perfect for any, you know, if you're shooting people, that sort of thing, even if you're doing like street style stuff and you're walking around London, 55mm is a good focal range, and that 1.8 aperture is absolutely stunning. And it's quite small, as you can see by the size of my hand, and it's nice to be able to have it in there because I can get all sorts of different shots. It just means I have a big variety of lenses if I need to. So recently, within the last week or so, I have become a Case Filters Pro partner. I have upgraded my Lee filters and I've moved over to Case, and I cannot fault them. Absolutely fantastic. They're so neutral. I feel like I've been missing out for a long time. So the lovely guys at Case sorted me out with this amazing set. This is the master set, but I have switched out a few grads because I didn't want so many soft grads that the kit comes with. So in this set I have a 6-stop ND, so essentially like the little stopper. I have a 3-stop reverse grad. I got lent the 4-stop reverse grad and I found that to be a little bit strong. This is now probably my most used filter. It's absolutely stunning. Moving on, we have a 3-stop soft. I don't really use soft grads very often. Maybe if I'm up in the mountains or in Scotland or in Glencoe or wherever, or in the Lake District, it's nice to have a soft grad because you can just take a bit out of the sky and you can't really notice it on the peaks of the mountains, etc. So it's good to have one. So it's also good to have one because you can turn it upside down and use them in conjunction with another one. So if you're shooting seascapes and you've got a nice foreground but it's looking a bit bright because of the sky, you could actually drop something like this in the other way round and just gradually take a little bit of glare highlights out of the water. So that's why I like to have a 3-stop soft. I also have a 2-stop hard grad. Haven't actually used this one yet because I've been using the 3-stop revert, and I also have the 10-stop, so essentially like the big stopper but in the Case Wolverine series. And absolutely beautiful, and I've done 4 or 5 minute exposures with this and just no color cast, absolutely perfect. So one of the best things about the Case filter system I find is the circular polarizer. They've created this really unique design where the polarizer doesn't screw onto the front of your filter system like the Lee one does, but in fact it actually is magnetic. So when you have your ring on your camera like so, you can literally just pop the filter on the front and it's magnetic and it stays in there and doesn't fall off. And then when you have the filter holder on, there's a tiny little geared ring here on the side, and that spins the polarizer. So yeah, I really think that is a great design, what they've done there. That is just genius. And it also comes in this nice hard case to keep the filters nice and protected in there as well. So yeah, it looks really, really good, looks the part. DJI Mavic Air, you guys probably know, this has been in my bag for nearly a year now. I've never crashed a drone, I've never crashed this drone. I'm very surprised. I've come close to ditching it into some water and some trees a few times, but I've never yet crashed it. Touch wood, don't have any wood, but I've never crashed it. This thing is absolutely amazing, and I know there are better drones out there now, but this thing is so small. It just is tiny. That is more beneficial to me. So I mainly use my drone for the vlogs. Every now and again, occasionally, while it's up there, I'll get a shot because it looks good. But I won't really use those images. It's mainly just used for video. 4K, 30 frames per second. I tend to shoot in 2.7 at 60 frames per second. It's just absolutely amazing, and it takes up no space in my bag, so there's no reason for me to never have it in my bag. And it goes in this nice handy little case. Job done. Here as well, I also have the remote, and that lives in here too, and I also have 2 spare batteries, so that all neatly goes in here. I like to carry around a power bank with me all the time because you never know, your phone may be dying, you may need to charge a battery, you may need to charge this, that and the other, or someone else's phone. This thing can charge like 8 phones or 10 phones or something, so it's not going to just die. Memory cards, I have this shock-proof, waterproof, dust-proof, thingy-proof case that I keep my cards in. They're not all in here at the moment. I usually carry 2 64 gigs for the Sony, 2 64 gigs for the Canon M50, which is this camera here, and then I also have one in here for the drone, which is a 64 gig micro SD. Also have shutter release cable. Always have one of these in your bag because you never know when you want to do long exposures. Gloves, I always keep gloves and a hat, bobble hat, in my bag just in case, and obviously because it's winter, you need to keep warm out there. And now with a bigger bag, I can have room in the top bit there to actually keep you know, spare coat if I wanted to, or hat and gloves, etc. Sandwich, some crisps or whatever. But because I shoot Sony, that means I need 1,000,000 batteries for my Sony. If there's any Sony shooters out there, well, not the A7R3 because they have new batteries obviously, but the A7R2 is not that good with its battery life. I actually carry 6 batteries with me all the time. They are tiny, they do not take up much room, but I need a lot all the time just in case. It is a bit of a pain, but just that's one of the downsides to the A7R2. Yeah, so I just carry 6 around with me all the time. One's in the camera and 5 are here. I also carry 2 spare batteries for the M50 as well as one that's in it. And they're pretty good actually. The Canon M50 batteries are pretty good. They do last a long time. So in the side pockets I have rubber feet for the Vanguard tripod. I tend to use the spike feet more now, just because it's better traction and it stays in the ground better, especially if you're on grass or soggy wet ground. Multi-tool with a knife and screwdriver, that sort of thing. This is quite cool actually. If you're ever out and about and you need to start a fire, that's quite cool. Piece of flint, and you can actually light a fire with this, so that's quite handy to always have in your bag. Doesn't take that much space, weighs nothing. Lens cloths coming out my ears, they're everywhere. Spare lens caps, more spiked feet for the other tripod. Whistle, I always carry a whistle with me because you never know. I could be out by myself, and most of the time I am out by myself in weird and wonderful places, and I could quite easily fall over sometimes. You know, you don't want to say it, but it's nice to have something that you can draw attention to yourself if you needed to. So it's always good to have a whistle or something that can draw attention if you needed it, if you got into trouble, if you got hurt. So yeah, I always tend to keep a whistle in my bag. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the bag. As you can see, it is quite big. If you carry a lot of stuff like I do, if you have big lenses, it's pretty much bomb-proof. They are so strong and so well built, and absolutely love the Vanguard bags. Really, really good. So I use Vanguard tripods too as well. I have a VO265CB travel tripod, carbon one, that the M50 is on now, and my main tripod, which is the Alta Pro 2 Plus 263 CB100, I think. Yes. This is ultralight, weighs like 1.5 kilos or something, and it's super strong. Twist lock, little quarter turn, out comes the leg, and then twist, quarter turn again, and it's in there nice and solid. It's a really, really good design. I always have spiked feet on it unless I'm inside, obviously. Yeah, can't really fault it. It's really good. I have made a bit of a first impressions video of it. I'll link that one just here if you haven't seen it already. So yeah, I hope you guys have liked this one. That is pretty much everything I carry around with me all the time when I'm doing sunrise shoots, sunset shoots, or I'm out all day doing a workshop with someone. Tell me what camera gear you're using and tell me what bags you're using. I'd love to know. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do consider clicking that subscribe button below. Give us a like, tell us what you think down in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one.